not just meaningless, but disappointingly empty.
All right.
We haven't seen a steady, hard rain like this for, I don't think, all summer. It's been raining like this for 45 minutes now. And it rained much harder for a shorter period of time, maybe 15 minutes before that. It's settled into a very meaningful, rain. We got in the car this morning to go into town, and being parked directly under the robin's nest, they hadn't gotten any mess on it until, I guess, the chicks fledged, and they started flinging stuff around from up in the nest and getting restless, I guess. And there was just, I came out and it's before the rain, turned on the wipers and the washers. That helped a little bit, but not really. There was crap on the windows, the side windows, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it out, anticipating this rain. Got a little fire going, and I haven't seen a puddle like that over there all summer. I know that. Maybe we had a rain like this during the night this summer that I didn't hear. I saw the results of it. That 1.5 inch time back in June, that was probably a similar thing. Oh, I was going to go down and burn in the burn pit. The next good rain we had. I don't want to now. Everything will be soaked, it won't burn. That's not true. The big pile of birch bark I've got down there, I could pull one layer off, and underneath it's going to be dry. So we'll see. Maybe this afternoon when it does quit raining, might be a good late afternoon project. If it stops raining, which I hope it doesn't. I can't wait to see what Otter Pond's going to look like. Yeah. Suki's been snoozing on the love seat all afternoon. There you are. There you are with a waggy tail. I think we're gonna go lay on the bed and read. Well, I say we. I could read aloud to her. A waggy tail. A waggy tail. Ah, sweet girl. You want to be close to me, don't you? Always. Jesus. Came back from our walk yesterday out to the field. Well, she hauled a whole lot of mosquitoes back with her, circling her. There must have been a dozen. When we got up to the door, oh man, I can't. So I spent a few minutes slapping, killing mosquitoes. Everything looked okay. Came in the house and looked back, and 2 or 3 had gotten in with her. Jesus. I don't remember having any of this trouble ever before out here. And I must have, but I was oblivious to it. How's the fire doing? Good. It's gonna smolder. I got the draft turned almost closed. Just enough to keep it alive, but not burn out too quickly. I've been reading, well, as you know, I've been reading a lot of things, but I've got a big collection of John D. MacDonald paperbacks that every so often I need a John D. MacDonald fix. Yesterday I read somewhere on my list of books that I want to read in Goodreads. It's an app. For some reason, I have John D. MacDonald's Quick Red Fox in my list. It's been there for a year or two. I wonder if I've got that book in my collection under the bed. Went and looked yesterday, the day before. Yep, it's here. Got it out. What fun. He is so much fun. And the thing I really like about him is he gets into existential commentary occasionally, or relational commentary between men and women. And it's always very well thought out, and he has good things to say. Sort of surprising, because on the one hand, he was writing in a time, this book was written in 1964, and he was writing in a very, very, women were playthings, and that was merely all they were. They were on this earth for men's pleasure only. But he does talk in this book some very good, solid things about relationships and love, and how it's so cheapened. Sex, for instance, is cheapened, and without love, it's empty and totally meaningless. Not just meaningless, but disappointingly empty. My girlfriend and I are waiting for maybe rain to arrive. Maybe not. I've already been told by the weather app that it's raining now and it was raining 10 minutes ago, which it wasn't. What will be, will be. It's all in God's hands. I'm with my girlfriend here in the back of the car, which she dearly loves being in here, and I don't think about that very often. Thought about it a couple weeks ago, how she loves when I open the back of the car up. Nice sleeping bag back here that she's cleaning up. So I opened it up a couple weeks ago. Oh, she came running and hurled herself up in here. She was in here for a couple hours until the sun got more to the west and was shining in here. And a couple weeks ago, the sun still had a lot of meaningful weight to it. She looks at my hand like I'm reaching for a treat. First of all, that's the wrong pocket, and there's no reason for her to have a treat. I'm holding. Sorry, sweetie. You only get one a day unless you've done something extraordinary, which you haven't, other than just being you. Oh my God. This morning we had our morning nap again. And once again, she has gotten this thing down to a T where she rolls onto me with her butt. And as I've told you, it used to be that she would get right up against me and then sort of relax down, so she's tight against my thigh. Well, now, the last couple times, she raises her butt up and collapses all the way down onto my thigh, on the top of my, and leaves it there. This weight of this girl. I don't know what she's thinking, but I love it. I just love it. She's become affectionate in her own way. I hauled this heavy beast out, and when I say haul, I mean haul. My God, how did I drag this thing around through 10 years of my life? The camera with the lens alone has got to be 10 pounds, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're used to carrying around your Micro Four Thirds new camera, and then you pick that up, oh my God, I had to relearn how to use it. So how to focus it, how to trigger the video. You don't do it by pushing the button, shutter button. You got to do it by, there's another button on the back. Jesus. Dowdy. Ultra dowdy. Embarrassingly dowdy. Very dowdy. Moderately dowdy. 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 I'm going to trim while I'm waiting for no rain to arrive. I'm going to go and trim some of the, God, these are really impressive. I hate to use that word. It'll get too big for its britches. I'm killing time doing things that I think about doing when I walk out here. No, I'm not going to trim that back. And these I can cut back. There's another frog. It's my third one today. in like 15 minutes. There she comes. Isn't that sparkly? Looks like a fiber optic creation. Mary Astor. Merry. I am going to come out here in the fall and shovel trailer loads of gopher mounds and bring them out to the power lines. Sort of between the power lines and the highway, I've got an eroding ditch. It's been eroding for several years, and last winter, snow blowing, I didn't know it was there, and it kept, I know I wasn't going to cut these back, but I guess I'm gonna. No, I'm not. It keeps pulling the snow blower further and further into it, out of the way I want to go, and so like that pile needs to go for sure. This is the one that doubled in size overnight. Back in the spring of 2019, I found seed packets, and the guy was sold out of most everything, but he had some black-eyed and brown-eyed Susan packets left. I don't remember where I cast them, but it was just at random all around. And look at them all. I think these are they. Mosquitoes. Time to spritz myself. I've already gotten like 4 mosquito bites. Warm, muggy day after the rain. Yeah, 5. She just jumped back up into the car. Did I spray this hand yet? Yeah. Well, that ought to protect me. I want to go out to Otter Pond. Down to Otter Pond. She heard that. Where am I going? Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, that is a flower. I'll think of it between now and when I post it on an episode. It's a volunteer. Snapdragon. I believe that's what it is. And how did it get there? Where did the seed come from? I've never had any seeds. I've always bought them as plants. So, I love that. Lends a touch of festive color to my steps. By the way, I just noticed this. This is the burdock that I cut down. Look at what we see on top there. Burrs. Can't have that. These are really robust stalks. These have grown up since I cut it down. You can see the stalks where I had cut them off a month ago. My God, they're as determined as thistle. And my mullein plant. This is the one Chuck was out here a few weeks ago, and we were talking about landscape fabric is not doing a very good job of preventing growing things. And he reached down there toward the bottom of the stalk and began to pull up. I said, no, 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 I want that. I love these. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, she's peppy. You'd never know that she's got joint trouble. We get out here at times like this and she's like a youngster. So why does she act so reluctant to move at other times, most other times? Rain. This is exactly what I had hoped I would provoke by coming down here. Oh, look at that. Bubbles on top of the water. That's really sweet. Well, I guess there is nothing to trim particularly. So, well, this isn't going to cut that. Oh, I was going to get another fire going. There looks like a fairly sizable, meaningful rain approaching, which ought to rain for maybe half an hour. If you want to impress your friends, like Chuck, who we have a semi-contest competition about how much rain did you get? Well, the last rainfall that I got, 3/4 of an inch, he had 1.2 inches, and he's just right there. So, it's a Minnesota competition around here. How cold did it get? Everybody wants to be the lowest among their friends. There might be just a little bit of fudging on exact truth. And the other one is rainfall. And since rainfall is in the summer very regional, as in he lives half a mile by the crow flies, and that difference between 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch is possible because in summer it's very cut-offable. Boom. Looking for a frog. I've seen 4 today. Not down here, but out and around. No snake either. I'm gonna get mosquitoes. I don't want that. She's got to be finding raspberries. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. missed a few. Oh, another one back in there. I'm not going to be able to get at it. That little rain we had this afternoon was 1/10 of an inch. By the looks of the sky, there's more coming. These blackberry plants, I guess they are about 2 feet higher than they were last summer when I never get tired of hearing that. That's a loon, by the way. Way up there. Gonna have to trim these back. Was that last summer I trimmed all this back, or was it 2 summers ago? I cannot remember. But nonetheless, these were down about here.